The money doesn't change anything really. It was just like, making money by sitting at a desk all day, which is cool, but
Yeah.
it just wasn't fulfilling. Your community has like a lot of, it's like very powerful because everyone's engaging in the community. It's not like there's one or two people collaborating. It's like everybody's inside. Like I met a bunch of cool dudes out of just from Nomad Consulting. On the topic of how can people reach out, the best time to reach out would have been like a year and a half ago, but the second best time is right now. Worth it, 1,000% for anybody watching this, anybody on the fence or anything like that.
Alright guys, so super cool video today. This is my client Noah. He started at complete zero, no offer in place. He had no idea like how to start a coaching business. Even so, he didn't even know what a sales call was. And now he's at a point where he's making 20K a month with his mindset coaching business. He's also 19 years old. He's like a prime example of someone that just like used a working funnel that was proven. He saw the results. He knew that he wanted to work with me, and also he just had the drive. So at this point too, me and Noah are like pretty good friends. Like we played pickleball together. We lived in the same apartment building, and it was cool because seeing him from like that raw standpoint at complete zero to now making 20K a month, we can just play pickleball whenever we want. Basically, it's like a cool feeling to do that with a client. But yeah, so if you're in a position where you're at complete zero or you have a coaching business already and you want to start it up and just scale it to 20, 30K a month, maybe you signed a few high paying clients, but it's inconsistent. Or maybe you just have like a passion and you want to package it up into a highly profitable like coaching business. If that's you, drop me a message on Instagram and also book a call down below. I have a free mini course down there too. But enjoy this video. If anyone resonates with this, you want to start a coaching business, click this video. Will help you out.
Let's get rolling. It's gonna be a good interview. Your growth was pretty insane. Pretty much just like kind of capitalizing on just like where you started out, how we've kind of grown to know each other and everything. Obviously, we can talk about like some podcast stuff. But guys, this is Noah. I'm sure you guys might have seen him on my Instagram stories, on YouTube as well, just like throughout my Instagram, personal branding, all that good stuff. Introduce yourself, Noah, if you want to lead off with that.
For sure, for sure. So yeah, my name is Noah Arnold. I'm 19 right now. I met Jeremy online when I was, I think, 17, and like a whole bunch of crazy stuff happened, but I ended up linking up with
Yeah.
him through Instagram, and then I'm sure we'll get into that stuff. But yeah, right now I help agency owners, coaches scale out of their revenue ceilings into 20 to 30K per month by rewiring their subconscious so they're not stuck hitting revenue ceilings, so they can operate as the highest version of themselves that's already doing 20K a month, so that number ultimately becomes a byproduct. So yeah.
Dude, that's sick. That's sick, bro. Yeah, I remember when we first, had our first call together. Yeah, the story that you had even on that first call was crazy. Cause was it Maui? Yeah, right when you were first living at it was Maui, right?
Yeah, I'm born and raised on Maui.
Yeah. So you were there, and unfortunately, you were there when the fires happened, so you had to move back to California. And dude, I remember just on that call, like you already had a business in place, so it was like sneaker reselling, yeah, all that good stuff, dude. Like I remember, yeah, that was a really cool call because I remember on the call, I'm like, dude, like that sounds unfortunate. Like I gotta get this guy scaling.
Yeah, no, for sure. It was a desperate moment for sure. I just started tasting like I watched one Iman Gotzi video. Like I'd never seen the dude in my life. And I think that's one thing we clicked on too. I was like, yeah, I was about to join like or I did join Agency Accelerator or Agency Incubator. And you're like, oh dude, I was in that too, kind of thing. But yeah, I just tasted that like agency space when I was doing the reselling, and then 1 week into that, like got the whole business model set up, all the CRM stuff set up, and then
Yeah,
everything got toasted. So yeah, that's when I met up with you.
dude. Yeah, where'd you first find me from? Was it through YouTube? Was it through Instagram?
It was an Instagram ad that just kept spamming my account, and I was like, all right, let me just do the CTA.
Yeah, yeah. It's funny because like the spam that just like warms people up like in a funny way. Like they might be annoyed by it, but like there's so many people in the space where I see their ad also every single day, and like just subconsciously like I'm warmed up. Like shoot, like what's this guy's offer about? Then you do more research, so like the spam is good, I guess. But that's cool, bro. Because yeah, like the main thing that I do, like the funnel, it's just like Instagram to YouTube and then YouTube to Instagram. Like it's all you pretty much need. But I remember when you first started out, like I really want to talk about that, like the first beginnings, because I think you even had a mullet back then. I think so. Might be wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I remember it was first like a flooring agency, landscaping agency.
Yeah. So once I started, I honestly was still kind of confused on what like niche I wanted to get into, who I wanted to service.
Mm.
I had a feeling I wanted to get into like contracting and stuff like that, just general contracting. And then I had like a fear of saturation. I was
Yeah.
like, is this too saturated? And then I got a lot of clarity from you, and you kind of pointed me in the right direction of another guy that was in your program that was doing flooring and was doing well with it. And then I found a good angle with flooring. So yeah, flooring was the main thing that you gave me clarity on. I thought it was going to be overly saturated, but you told me like saturation really isn't real.
Yeah. 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 Saturation, like, it's not real to an extent of like, you just need to adapt.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people, especially in my space, like I see a lot of them like pop off really well, and then I don't see them ever. So like sometimes like it's not about the funnel that doesn't work. It's about like who you are as a person, to be honest, like how your personal brand is, and if people actually resonate with you. Because at the end of the day, like my offer, as everyone pretty much knows, like it's using ads and also doing YouTube too. And it was pretty much that since the beginning. But I just made the funnel like 1% better every single day and just honed in on personal branding so more people can see me. Like I didn't do
Hmm.
some other crazy VSL funnel. Like it still works. And the best thing about like the follow ad funnel, like I've adopted it so much to where like I do it on like a completely different angle now, alongside like the basic funnel, which is I have the funnel also like on the free school community. You guys can find that somewhere below. But yeah, like with the funnel on that end, like it's super simple. I give it for free. Like what makes it work 10 times better is like so many people ditched it while I was just like compounding on it and making it so much better. Now like the follow ads that are running, it's like the best win, and like the bad ones just die out and they just leave, you know?
Yeah.
And that's obviously like the stuff that I have in the program as you've seen and everything. But yeah, in the beginning, you scaled your flooring agency. Now you scaled your coaching offer for entrepreneurs, kind of tapping into that alignment to 20K a month, which is amazing. Because remember, you first hit the 10K a month with the flooring agency, and then you kind of switched that around, right? I think that was how it went.
Yeah. 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 It was like, I don't know. The agency model was just like the first taste of online business, like I said, right? And then
Yeah.
once I really got into it and started working with it and realized like, hey, this is like genuinely just a job and just glorified. It's like you're an entrepreneur, but I'm working like crazy every single day.
Mm,
I realized it just wasn't that fulfilling to myself, and like internally I wasn't fulfilled with it. The money doesn't change anything really. It was just like, making money by sitting at a desk all day, which is cool, but
yeah.
it just wasn't fulfilling. So I switched into something where I just like I dove super deep. I don't know, like I was in the Nomad Consulting chat for like every single day for a while, and then I kind of just went ghost for a little bit and then worked on myself like a lot. And
Yeah.
then yeah, from there I just realized like I was a lot more in alignment with just helping people do exactly what I did by working on different systems. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, dude. Yeah, I remember when you first switched the offer from like flooring to helping entrepreneurs. Like the first pillar that I really wanted to come across, because like most of the people, cause we're kind of targeting like the same people, like coaches, entrepreneurs, all that kind of stuff. Like they just want to scale to 50K a month, 20K a month, 100K a month. But since your offer is more of like a mental rewiring type of thing, we had to make it so that hitting 20K a month was the exact same like kind of feeling as like aligning themselves. So we had like three different onboarding calls, if you remember.
Yeah.
Kind of like going over how we're going to target the messaging, because like that was the biggest thing, because obviously if we can find like three different ad scripts, launch the winner and just increase ad spend over time, like that's the easy part. But it's like the hard part is just making sure your offer actually resonates with these people. They actually want to buy your program rather than like a KPI driven program. Like a lot of these coaches, like they see these ads online, they copy the exact same script, but like that's like one piece of like 100 different puzzle pieces. It's like if you're trying to replicate like a Lamborghini and you just copy the engine, like cool, you can do that, like that's the ad. But like the whole thing of like the screws, the tires, how they work, the
Yeah.
maneuvers, like like all the mechanisms behind the computer, whatever the heck, how you build a car. um all those stuff needs to be in place or everything doesn't work. Like if you
Yeah.
miss one screw in the cars can't be in production, so
Yeah.
that's the exact same thing. That's what I really wanted to hone in on. um but dude, I'm curious, like, what made you want to buy, like, in the first call we had together? Because I think you've watched a few of my content, like, not a crazy amount. And then you joined, like, yeah, on that call we scaled. But yeah, I'm curious, like, what made you kind of want to join?
Yeah, dude. I think like I said, after seeing Iman got into the agency space, the ads like now you see ads every day and like everyone knows about this, like the guys running ads, you know what I mean? And they have like the exact same ad script like you're talking about. But when I saw you, I never like the only ads I saw was for like products like e-com and stuff. So I never saw somebody actually running inbound ads for like an offer online for coaching. So I saw you and I kind of didn't think of it until I saw you like 7 or 8 times on my page. And then I looked at your account, and then I think the biggest thing for me, or like there's two main things that like actually made me want to book a call and move forward with you. One
Mhm.
of them was that you were just like not that big. Like I think I told you this when I was on the call with you. I was like, dude,
Remember.
you're not like Iman, you know? Like I know if I move forward with you, I'll get one-on-one access and like it's a connection that I could build throughout this. It's not just something where I'll pay and I'll get a course module. It's like a lot of one-on-ones and like speaking with you directly. And I knew that would help me a ton. So like you having like, I think it was like 3,000 followers or 4,000 followers at the time was like a huge needle mover for me. And then another thing was you just spoke directly to me. Like your ICP at the time was like me in my current position. I think it was just like I felt hit exactly by like every single like your messaging was toned so perfectly towards me that I just like felt like I needed to book a call or I was just missing out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Dude, I think another thing too, like I think we just like on the first call we are having like just regular good conversation. Like we are talking about Maui and sneaker selling. Like I like sneakers. So like something I do on like my initial calls I have with people is I just like converse with them. I just like say what's up, you know? And like that's not in like obviously like the sales framework that I teach, but it's just like what I like to do. Um,
Mhm.
because in
It
that way,
works for
like
sure.
with the program, like there's not a lot of people in the program. There's like 40 active clients. Um, you know, it's not like 40 people that I just left in the school. It's like 40 active. But yeah, I like to make sure like every single person in the program, just like someone I would go out and have a drink with, you know, or like go out and just hang out with. You know, in
Yeah.
that case, everyone kind of like flows in conversation better. Cause dude, like I know what it's like. And I know a lot of people watching these videos, like they're probably already making 10, 15K a month, but they're lacking that kind of like community. Like I met my best friends through like a Zoom call and like a coaching program. So I wanted to have that same exact feel for people in Nomad Consulting. Like a lot of people that join, like they just start collaborating. I'm sure you've known a few,
Yeah.
you know,
100%.
you as well. But yeah, like I qualify so hard alongside like the ICP, but also just like who they are. The other day I was telling my friend this. Like I had a really, really good lead. He was ready to pay in full, everything. He had the money and all that kind of stuff. I just had to send the invoice. Um, but the only thing was he ran an OnlyFans agency. He was making like 50 grand a month. You know, he was warmed up. He wanted to join. And I hopped on the call and I was like, okay, I don't really want to pitch this guy, but I'm gonna say a crazy price just to see how the call goes. He ends up agreeing to the price. Only thing is like balls in my court now. I just send the
Yeah.
invoice. So I end up saying, hey bro, I'll send the invoice after the call. Just watch some of my content. I'll send the onboarding stuff after. So it's cool, all that good stuff. So now I'm just in my head like, should I maneuver on this? This is like 2x of what I usually charge. Should I move forward with this? So I end up just like praying about it. Just like, God, like, should I maneuver on this? I remember promising in the very beginning that I'd never work with OnlyFans agencies or any kind of weird agency like that.
Yeah.
Because obviously, like, would I want those people on my group calls and everything? Like, that's like the biggest thing. So I end up telling my mentor about it. And he goes, like, what would Jesus do? You know, like how would he kind of maneuver around that? Would he want those people in his circle? Obviously, you know, like he would, you know, guide them and all that kind of stuff, but like in community specifically. So that's when I made the tough decision of like, okay, I don't want to maneuver on this, even though it's gonna be like my biggest close ever, like upfront. But I'm glad I did because I think it was pretty much like a test on like am I worthy of just the promise that I had of like impact driven business? Because dude, if I have like 40 active clients, at that point I'm building like a mini ministry and like leading
Hmm.
people financially and spiritually. You know, because like one of my goals is to like obviously do what I'm doing right now, but also have like an in-person event where we kind of like lead people with God. I think you went to a few as well, but like even making something like that, I think that'd be pretty valuable for the people in Nomad because a lot of people are trying to obviously find who to, you know, just like focus on and worship at that point, if I'm being
Yeah.
honest. Um, but dude, yeah, like that's the biggest thing that I found because so like having our conversation in the beginning, I'm like, this guy's cool. I want to work with this guy. I have like I did a DM setting, kind of like a call with Zach this morning, going over some DM reviews, and we had this really cool guy that's booked in for tomorrow. Hopefully he closes because it's a really cool offer. But it's like helping IT professionals work remotely. Like how sick would that be to work with that guy? And then we
Yeah.
onboard another guy. He's helping like D1 athletes get better at pitching. So like there's so many cool offers out there. Like I just get excited. I'm like, I hope this is a cool guy,
Yeah.
So I think everything that led us from where we are right now to like where we are in the beginning, I think the biggest thing was just like we just kind of collaborated and had like super cool like chemistry, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that piece of the Nomad Consulting is huge for me because like I met a bunch of cool dudes out of just from Nomad Consulting. I paid a bunch of other mentors and stuff like that, but your community has like a lot of it's like very powerful because everyone engages on certain topics. Everyone's engaging in the community. It's not like there's one or two people collaborating. It's like everybody's inside in the loop, you know what I mean? So I think that's huge. Because the community honestly wasn't even what I cared about in the beginning, at least. It was just like,
Yeah.
dude, I just want to scale. Like you think you can get me there. I think I can get myself there with your help. Let's do it. But like looking back at it now, I think the community was easily the biggest piece of it. Just like having people around you doing the same thing, keeping you accountable, stuff like that. It's huge.
Dude, yeah. I'm curious though, like what made you like what do you think made you scale to where you are right now, opposed from like other people that didn't, let's say? And also what part of the program helped you do that and help you get here?
Yeah. Um,
Sort of a loaded question.
no, I got you. I think honestly like the biggest thing that separated my even though like everybody in your academy, everybody in your, Nomad Consulting got the same amount of information, got the same amount of one-on-ones, like everybody got the same thing, but there's a thing that differentiates the people who've actually succeeded with it versus the people who like think it's all foo or think it's bullshit and end up like refunding or charge back whatever. I think the difference between those two, since it's not like it's not the information that's the issue because clearly it works for some and for some people it doesn't work. I think for me I was getting into that loop where I was connected with one of the guys in there and he started pushing like limiting beliefs in my head where it was like, this doesn't work. Like I'm spending too much on ads. Like the offer doesn't work, stuff like that.
Mm,
And then I was like letting it hit me. And I wasn't really conscious about what I'm teaching right now and like all the internal stuff and how big of a piece of the puzzle that plays in terms of business, like spiritual stuff.
yeah.
So during that time, I was letting that limiting belief kind of like eat at me. And I was like, damn, and that's when I started seeing like horrible results. I was doing like I wasn't even profitable with my ads. I was doing like 2K with ads, making like 1,000. Like I was super unprofitable with ads, and I was like, it doesn't work. But once I dove, like I said, I like kind of went ghost for a little bit and dove into like my self issue and like looked at the other half of the people who actually succeeded, like a lot of the guys like Emily and a lot of the guys who are actually killing it. That's when like I started getting myself pumped back up, and I realized like if I can just like what I'm teaching right now, if I can just act like the version of myself who's already doing what I want to be doing, which in that case was I think like 15K a month. I really wanted to do 15K a month. I was like the golden
Mhm.
egg number. I was like, I wrote down exactly on a piece of paper, like exactly what that person does from 5 in the morning to when he goes to sleep, like every single thing. And I just did that like without fail. And that's when I realized I started talking differently. Like my content shifted completely. I wasn't like a robot. I didn't have to use a script. Like my ads were phenomenal after that, just because like all the targeting was the same, the structures was the same, but it was the tonality change and like my energy change to being, instead of in a lack like this doesn't work, to
Yeah.
being like I'm very grateful that everything that Jeremy has taught me is working, and like kind of just staying in that emotional energetic level gave me the results that I've achieved up until this point. So I think that's the biggest like change between the people who want to charge back versus the people who succeed well. You guys have the same information. It's just the way you implement it and how you look at it, I think.
Dude, 100%. Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that because like I say this on my calls all the time with like people I'm just meeting. It's like I'm giving you the keys, but it's your job to open the door.
Yeah.
So like if you don't actually have what it takes to actually scale, then like dude, like an ad giving you the best quality leads won't
Yeah.
solve your problems.
Yeah.
That's why like it's
1000%.
cliche, but dude, like it's 80% mental. Like
Hmm.
I'm sure you completely know that. But like 90%, even like 100%, and like the funnel to let's say 60 grand a month is very simple. $1,500 with 40 clients, that's, 60K a month. You probably have like 30% closing rate. So, 15 calls a week, 3 to 4 units close. Like it's very simple. Just increase your ad spend, spend money on ads, get good at sales, have a really good offer that people resonate with, all the good stuff. But like if you're not even confident in what you say on a sales call, let alone like even like saying your program name, then how can other
Mhm.
people be confident even like hopping on a sales call with you? Or like
Yeah.
for you to even be like drained to even work on your business or yourself, like how can people look at you as a mentor? So like there's
Yeah.
very small things that people aren't aware of, and like that's the reason why I had the whole entire vision kind of mock up in the beginning of the school program, like in the program. Um because like that's the foundation of it. Like yes, the offer's foundation of scaling an offer, but I'm like yourself is the foundation of scaling the offer. um
Yeah.
but dude, yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that because there's a lot of people like in the space. They're like, oh, Instagram ads don't work. They're super repetitive. Coaching is annoying. You guys are the method. All that
Yeah.
kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like they're saying all these crazy stuff. Like you can either be annoyed or you can be inspired. And
Yeah.
if you're inspired, you can use everything of these like annoying so-called gurus and just like work on yourself and just block out all the noise.
Hmm.
And it's one of the reasons why personally I like staying like small in the space because like I just chose coaching as my business model, and I'm in like a sea of gurus, but I'm literally just someone that chose coaching, and that's like the avenue that I chose. Like I'm just the bro
Hmm.
at that
Yeah.
honestly. Um
Yeah.
but yeah, I kind of like it because like I don't want my name to be too much out there because I don't want like any negative kind of connotations. At the end of the day, like you're always gonna have negative connotations, but like that's one of my favorite things about it. And I like coaching for the reason of like it's high profit, it's high margins, like it's a cash flow business for sure, and it can add into different revenues. Let's say if you want to do real estate down the line, all that good stuff, and you don't have to have a big personal brand to scale. Like Ben, for example, he only has 600 followers. He has a crazy offer of like done for you for tree service, which is a very small niche. Not a lot of people in there at all. And he's at 10K a month. So like you don't have to be like the next Alex Hormozy. And also like it's high impact. In my case, I'm scaling someone from 0 to 20K. In your case, you're taking someone from like completely feeling drained about their business to actually being in alignment with themselves so they can be the man that they want to be for their spouse, future spouse, their business, their team, everything like that. So like it's a compound effect. If I'm scaling my business, you're helping your clients are helping their clients, all that good stuff. So like it's a whole ripple
Yeah.
effect with this coaching thing, which is the most amazing thing. But dude, that's cool. I'm glad I was able to do that. But also like I'm curious, what would you tell somebody that's like kind of like watching my content, maybe like this is their first video they're watching, um or maybe it's like they've been watching me for a year, like what would you tell them to like reach out to me? Because like I know for a fact
Yeah.
everyone wants I can get them scaling. Like what would you kind of
Yeah.
like help them out and say to
No,
them?
for sure. I think before I even touch on that, like what you said before, where you
Yeah.
were talking about like how coaching is high profit, high margins. I think another thing to add on to what I was saying before about like what differentiates two people is like once I learned that your impact equals your income, like that is like there's a direct correlation to how much impact you're creating to how much income you're making. That's when I
Yeah.
dove a lot deeper into like, actually stop focusing about the outcome of this person's gonna pay me 4K to verse and like how much money am I about to make this person and how many dreams am I about to make this person, achieve and actually turn into reality. I think that perspective change, like you put that in my mind a while ago too, where it's like stop focusing on the outcome, focus on just actually helping this person. And then, the money is a byproduct, just comes from that. So income or impact equals income for sure. And that's a huge change. But on the topic of how can people reach out to you, I think the best time to reach out would have been like a year and a half ago when your pricing was what it was. But the second best time is right now. And I think if you're definitely charging more than you were before, and it's you're more than, you know what I mean, like capable of doing that because worth it for 1,000% for anybody watching this, anybody on the fence or anything like that. I think Jeremy's just a dude that is very personable. It's very like handholding. Like he doesn't talk to you as someone above you or anybody with an ego. He levels out with you on conversations and kind of, just shows you the stepping stones because he's already done what you want to do. So just seeing the stepping stones and having him place it in front of you and like a equivalent like level where he's not just like talking down on you as a mentor, but more so just as like a buddy who just wants to help you scale is such a it's a different feeling you get from like I haven't got any other mentor who tells me like that. Everybody the mentor is this yelling at me from above, but with you, I think it's very handheld. You know, it's like do this, do this. Like I've done this myself. Like I'll help you set this up. It's very handheld. It's very strategic, and the stepping stones are there. You just have to like take one foot in front of the other. You know what I mean? So I think reach out, watch as many YouTube videos as you can because they all got value in there. But once you get on a one-on-one and actually speak to them, it's a game changer for sure.
Heck yeah, dude, I appreciate that. Yeah, like the biggest thing that I wanted to implement and just keep in the space, or just like when I'm scaling my offer, just like seem someone so like as touch, not touch, but like as personable as possible, not touchable. Sounded kind of wrong, but as personable as possible, so
Yeah.
that like it deeply resonates, not just like on the front end of the marketing, but like as we're on the call, the first call, and as we're like 3 months deep into the program. Um, because in that case, like if I'm acting like a completely different person on my front end in the marketing, and then once they join, like I'm like completely different as well, like my churn rate will be terrible.
Mhm.
My reputation will be terrible. Like your best marketing, yes, it's ads and organic content, but it's also your clients, how the word spreads. Because like we're in a small, tight knit community. The coaching space is like almost a little bubble. There's not a
Yeah.
lot of people. Like there's a lot of business owners in real estate, way more. Like it seems like there's a lot of people in coaches and coaching because like we're watching the space, but there's not a lot at all.
Mhm.
So the word spreads pretty quick. Like at the end of the day, like we're probably like 3 phone calls away from like Shelby Sapp or whatever, Sam Millsap. Like
Yeah.
I was with my buddy Marshall and we were snowboarding. Like he literally got a FaceTime from what's his face? Like Sam Millsap. So like we're in a small space, like wherever everybody knows everybody,
Yeah.
So if he talks to you about my program, so it's like, oh yeah, it's okay. And Sam Millsap will know that, okay, this guy's okay. So like the
Yeah.
word spreads really quick. So the main thing I want to implement is like, how can I be like a friend to everybody and just give people the advice in a very like empathetic way? And at the end of the
Mhm.
day, like how would Jesus run a coaching program? You
Yeah.
know, um, that's the biggest thing I wanted to know, because like Jesus is what scaled my coaching program. If I'm like completely honest, like it's, yes, I increased ad spend, did all the tactical stuff, but like at the end of the day, it was His will that even
Mhm.
made it reach the right people.
Yeah.
Um, but dude, yeah, that's super cool. And I remember like you went to like kind of like a business kind of Jesus mastermind too. Was that like a
Mhm.
year ago, a year and a half ago?
Yeah. You talking about Brandon Forbes one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So you connect with me with him. I think you're like, yo, Brandon's doing like a mastermind in Miami. You should hit that up. I might be out there. And I was like, I'm just gonna like might as well. You know what I mean? So I sent it
Yeah,
out to Miami and I got baptized by Brandon himself. It was pretty sick. It was a
that's
dope
sick.
experience. He was talking
That's
about you
awesome.
like how the first time you were there, you're like getting exercise and you're like screaming or whatever. But yeah. No, it
Yeah,
was really cool. It was really unique to see like because there would be the points where it's like you're talking about business, very foundational things that you need to do, strategies and things and whatnot, but like what really matters is what it comes down to is like God's will. If it's in His will, it'll happen. So that was the biggest piece and perspective change that helped for me too, where it's just like, let me stop focusing on numbers and just really dial in on my relationship with God and my relationship with myself internally, and then the results, like all the numbers are just byproducts. Like everything, like where we're living, whatever, it's just byproducts of how we are and who we are, and God's will, I think.
dude, yeah, for sure. That's spot on. Um, yeah, because like I remember I was spending the exact same amount on ads. And after that mastermind that I went to, like, yeah, spending the same amount of ads, but I booked way more calls and way more
Yeah.
qualified people, and everyone was saying yes effortlessly. Like, I could have just like did nothing on the sales call, like danced around and whatever, and just like said a joke, and they would,
Yeah.
join the program,
Yeah.
which was crazy to me. I'm like, damn, like, how is this happening? But it was really just God's will.
Mhm.
But dude, yeah, I'm glad you went to that. And it's also cool. I don't know if you guys know this, but yeah, Noah lives in the exact same. We're in the exact same apartment building. Like he's
Yeah.
18th floor, I'm 12th floor. We have like the same view too, which is kind of funny.
Yeah.
It's kind of the same view,
Hmm.
but it's kind of funny how like this whole thing went full circle, because I think on
Yeah.
our first call, I think I was living in Arizona.
Hmm.
If not, I think I was just like randomly bouncing around from California, Arizona. And now we're at a point where we're just like living in the exact same apartment building.
Yeah.
It's just like amazing.
Yeah. It's funny for
Yeah, I,
sure.
I literally saw Noah 2 nights ago in the gym. We're hitting a workout. I think you're doing chest and try. I was doing chest and try as well, something like that. But yeah, I just kind of like seeing how we just started out together to like where we are right now. And there's
Hmm.
like so many different people that I have like personal touch points with as well. Like Guillaume, for example, you know, like we have like a certain story together. Like he literally started off as like in the military, quit his military, or like left that. He focused on fitness coaching. Same thing with Anthony. And then I'm doing a student interview with Gavin as well, who went from 0 to 12K with his coaching program, and he's still in high school. Like he's a senior in high school.
Hmm.
Dude, but like it's so awesome that there's just so many amazing people in Nomad Consulting, and there's not a lot of people in there as well. Like there's literally
Hmm.
40 active clients.
Yeah.
And the best part about a coaching business, so you don't need a lot of people to scale to your revenue goals. Like for
Mhm.
me, I looked at my numbers and I was like, okay, what is the dream lifestyle to where I don't have to think about getting the things I want, and also just like living comfortable and comfortability and just having like a cool life. For me, like the
Mhm.
cheapest option for that was 40 active clients with the price point that I am right now. Because let's say your goal is, 40K revenue, or sorry, 40K cash collected. So let's say 60K a month, that's 20K in expenses, 40K cash collected upfront every single month. If you have 40K in your pocket every single month, that's life changing money,
Mhm.
and you don't need a lot of people to get there. If you have a 5K offer, what is that like? You know, 8 clients if they're paying in full, Um, but yeah, like, and also like a lot of people, they want to scale to 100K a month. Like, yes, it's a great goal to have, but if you were to tell like a teacher or like a firefighter that you
Mhm.
need 40K a month profit to finally feel free, and they're gonna be like, dude, like I just need another 2K.
Yeah, no, for real. I think the
So
online business
yeah,
scene like expands it so heavily. Everyone's talking about 150K, but nobody realizes how much money 40K cash collected is and how free you really are.
yeah, it's amazing, dude. Like, yeah, 40K, you can even 10K, like you can have the comfortability to just like have freedom to do whatever you want. Like you just went to Japan, right? And you had some
Mhm.
fun there.
Yeah.
How was that?
Japan was active, bro. We gotta hit a trip. We gotta do a snowboard trip and then we gotta do like a Europe trip. I'm trying to do Greece. Like that'd be ideal.
Dude, I'm so down. We can do a snowboard trip too.
Hmm.
I'm down to Rip Big Bear like somewhere around this month or in April.
Let's do it. You
Yeah,
have your own
Zach
board?
is coming too. Huh?
You have your own board?
Yep.
Okay, dub. Yeah, let's run it. I'm down.
Dude, we can do like a little triple date. Me, you, Adam. It'd be sick.
Let's do it, bro. But he's all cuffed up now. Let's run it.
Yeah, dude. If you guys don't know too, obviously you guys don't know this, but yeah, when what is it called? When you went back from Japan, you gave me like these Japanese zins. I was like, what the heck are these? They have like crazy writing. They're on my desk right now. I don't know if you guys can see it, but there's
Dub.
like weird, like not weird lettering. That's kind of racist, but there's like Japanese lettering. I was like, these are like $1, and I remember
Yeah.
I popped one in. I was like, I felt like I was gonna salivate. It was crazy. Like I was on the floor. I played
Yeah.
pickleball after, pop
Yeah.
went in then, and yeah, I had to take it out because I was burning my gums.
Yeah, they're solid, bro. Japan's got some stuff. I think Adam brought something back from Bali to the Tiger Balm. So
Uh,
clutch. It's
Tiger
like
Bomb.
it's like this ointment rub that he gave me.
Uh-huh.
But I've been using that like every single night. It's so clutch.
Dude, yeah. Dude, Ethan, he knows how to work around Thailand for sure. He knows like all the nitty-gritty spots. He knows like the shortcuts to get to the spots. He's like
Hmm.
a Thailand vet at this
That's
point.
that's funny.
But dude, yeah, like it's amazing seeing your growth. 0 to 20K with the coaching offer and everything. But dude, yeah, it seems like we're kind of wrapping up here. Is there anything you kind of want to mention for like the people? Because most of the people that do watch these videos, they're already running coaching programs. Um, they're already running agencies. They've signed a few clients. Whether they're at like 3K, 10K a month, like they're kind of at that level. So like what would you say to them? Like not even including the program. If you want to include the program too, you can definitely do that. They know where to reach out to me. But like what would you
Mhm.
say to them specifically?
For the guys who are like 3 to 5K a month.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think main thing is like surround yourself with people who will have your back in just with your mindset. If you believe something's possible and there's people around you who don't believe it's possible, you're ultimately going to grab onto that frequency. And I'm really big about like you know, your network is your net worth. Your whoever you're around is your frequency that you're going to surround yourself with. So it's like me being surrounded by people like this, like you're literally in the same building. You know, I grab one on that frequency. There's no way I'm going to be letting
Mm.
myself stoop below 10K a month or 5K a month. You know what I mean? So I think if you're at that position, if there's nobody around you who are believing in you, go ISO for a little bit, like put your head down and just kind of lock yourself away for a little bit. It's more than worth it. 90 days is enough. That's all it took for me. Lock yourself away, focus on yourself, and see if you're truly worthy of making the money that you want to make. If you're not even being the person that's worthy of 15K a month, don't ask God for it because you're not even embodying that version.
Mm.
So until you can become that person, um, I wouldn't worry about it or let living beliefs stoop in. And another thing is like find somebody who actually believes in you as well, and don't let money be a barrier to building a connection. Like if I let money be a barrier and I gave you price objection after price objection, I wouldn't have the connection that I have with you right now and the people that you've introduced me to. So I would say money's not a big thing whatsoever. So don't let it be a barrier to meeting cool people as long as you're not getting scammed. um, and yeah, dude, just I don't know. I think just embodying the best version of yourself that's already doing that money is the biggest thing for me. Like that's
Yeah.
just what I stand by. On the topic of how can people reach out to you, I think the best time to reach out would have been like a year and a half ago, but the second best time is right now. Worth it for 1,000% for anybody watching this, anybody on the fence or anything like that. I think Jeremy's just a dude that is very personable. It's very like handholding. Like he doesn't talk to you as someone above you or anybody with an ego. He levels out with you on conversations and kind of, you know, just shows you the stepping stones because he's already done what you want to do. So just seeing the stepping stones and having him place it in front of you in like a equivalent like level where he's not just like talking down on you as a mentor, but more so just as like a buddy who just wants to help you scale is it's a different feeling you get from like I haven't got any other mentor who tells me like that. Everybody the mentor is this yelling at me from above, but with you, I think it's very handheld. You know, it's like do this, do this. Like I've done this myself. Like I'll help you set this up. It's very handheld. It's very strategic, and the stepping stones are there. You just have to like take one foot in front of the other. You know what I mean? So I think reach out, watch as many YouTube videos as you can because they all got value in there. But once you get on a one-on-one and actually speak to them, it's a game changer for sure.
I love that, dude. I
Yeah.
love that. Well, super good call. I'm glad we did this interview. Hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.